I'm so grateful to Myer for this wonderful method that he created in his imagination to get together everything that the Italians were trying to achieve. In every way, this technique encompasses what I was looking for, what I was searching for. What happens when you're a singer who can sing easily with your dramatic voice, but as you get older, things aren't as easy. And that you might go looking for help somewhere. And that's when you can fall into the hands of people who really don't know that much about singing. And they certainly don't know what Edmund John Myer knew. And you can really get yourself tied up in knots. And that's what happened to me. To the point that I really began to worry about myself and my singing. And that made everything that Edmund John Myer was after almost impossible to understand. Rehearsals became a nightmare because I really couldn't understand what was wrong. And it was just more tension building on more tension, putting doubts where there shouldn't be any. I'm a performing artist, I'm an interpretive artist. I do what I do. But if I know how I can do it well for a very long time to come, I hope, and how I always did it when it was easy, then I think there's less fear and so more willingness to try it. And that's what was so great about falling onto Edmund John Myer. I had read him 10 years ago? No, not quite, but let's say 7 years ago. I had read him 7 years ago, and I did not have the capacity to understand what I was reading. That's why I'm making this video, because you can read him, and you should and you must. But reading him with the understanding will give you the chance to use what he has. It went right over my head, I'll tell you that. The first time I was looking at it was like these hand movements and all this other stuff. But when I look at my videos from before some of this work I was doing on the research, I use my hands, and I know why, because it feels great, and I'm putting my hands out to the side, and what they're really doing is holding my ribs out, and my breath is sustaining more easily, and I have all the force I want. That's how I sing, and I sing that way naturally. I move, I bob and weave if the music says I should do that, and when I put myself in question, it didn't become fun anymore to sing, except in front of the public, which I could always do. So concerts were fun and easy, but rehearsals were horrible because I put myself in question. You know, how's that note? It's pinched, whatever. So when I found this thing, this wonderful thing, which I call the gesture, he calls it movements and getting position and action in singing. Well, it's true. And everything he observed about singing is what I observed when I was able to apply all of the Italian things. But it's a lot to think about at one time. However, with this gesture, everything falls into place and anybody can sound great. That's what I love about it. And that's why I want to share it with you. So, how can you get this gesture? All right, go out on archive.org and look up Edmund J. Myer, or Edmund John Myer. There's about 4 books that are really scanned of his, and there's some sort of article he wrote for the New York Singing Teachers group. But you'll find them, and they're filled with wonderful ideas. The Renaissance, it's called the Renaissance of the Vocal Art, is the one that has the gesture clearly enunciated and fully described. And then the last book, The Vocal Instructor, has everything you need and some drawings and some exercises and really delightful things to know. And then in the back there are musical exercises, and they go quite high, and you really you can master this thing with what he gives you. And even he has exercises where you do, some vowels at first, but then you replace them with words that he wants you to have emotions about. And he gives you the emotions he wants you to have. It's a wonderful thing to know this man through his work. We don't know much about him, but we do know that he taught at Chautauqua for 30 years in the summers, and that he taught in New York City, in Manhattan. So he was successful in his day, but it never went past his day, and his books became rather obscure. But we're going to change that, and I hope you'll be a part of it. So thanks. Anyway, so this whole thing is that we're removing the idea of breathing and replacing it with the idea of an all-inclusive gesture. And his idea was that once you did certain things with your body in a movement, it would give you a position to hold while you sang. And you can think that your body is in expansion, and to help you with that, your hands are at the sides and they move with the music and with your energy to help your hips move out to the sides as you're singing. That's the concept. So to arrive at that position, you have to do three things. And it starts like this. You have your weight on one leg. I'm not sure how it has to be, but one leg needs to be the dominant leg. He's always straight. Then the other is slightly bent. And what this does is it gives you a kind of lever to get yourself up to the position you want to be in, to the level of the body and what you're going to be singing. Because trust me, being up and out of the way of this motor here will give you a lot more control. If you're down on it, you're going to press down, you're going to get hard and it won't flow. So here we go. So that's one of the movements, is to lift up and out of your hip sockets. There's another movement. Lifting the chest as if it were following your hands. If you were doing this exercise, coming down, your hands are together, and you say to your chest, follow my hands. And your hands say, follow me. And that's the height of the chest. And it really is a height you can achieve. And it's very lovely. So we have our lifting up out of the hips, and our all the way up to the chest is lifted. At the same time of doing that, we have an expansion of the body. That's the second thing. Everything is expanding sideways. And that's funny to feel your hips expanding sideways. Yeah. So what you're doing is your hands are at ease. They are holding. They could hold water if they had to. This is Edmund John Myer's thing. Once you get this position and breathing and everything, you may not do this. It's your choice. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure I start like this, but as a natural singer, I end like this, that's for sure. Okay, so it's a gentle movement that goes this way and that way. But there is a third element. Actually, there are several, but the third element of the gesture, this movement, this gracious movement, is that everything above the chest must be released. To understand how that is, we have to talk about the energy too. But just to say this, everything above the chest must be fully released. That includes the shoulders and the arms, you see. Everything is just released above the chest. Sometimes I think I'm wearing an evening gown without any straps and I need to hold it up. That's an image. Or for a man, maybe you're in a gymnasium shower and you've got your towel up above your chest. You need to hold it up to keep it from falling. Whatever the image is, it is the chest in suspension. But your elbows and your shoulders and your back are relatively free. And that's pretty much it for the expansion is everything. It's all expanding all the time. Then, this release, well, we're going to talk about the light energy because it's a good way to understand how much release you need. So the light energy is something that is just maybe as important or maybe more important than the gesture itself. And that is a use of an energy that is appropriate for what we're doing and not more. And so he has a concept of, I call it light energy. I think that's what he calls it too. But it is a moment where you understand that there are many ways to do things with your body. And he says, just to illustrate the kind of energy you need for singing, why don't you do this? Put one arm out very, very stiffly, very strongly. Hold it out there. And that hand is out there as well. And everything is strong out there. Now, that can get tiring. Many people sing with this level of muscular engagement. Now, let it fall. And now imagine that your arm uses no more energy than necessary to give you the sensation that it's floating up. It's actually floating. There's no more effort than that. And to hold it out, it's just floating. Mm-hmm. And that's how much energy you need when you sing. If you are focusing everything. And also, that's what I'm talking about, the energy to hold yourself up. It's not more important than that. It's really light. And why? Because it helps you to get the release much more easily and let your jaw fall away if you're not hard or tense anywhere. So as the greats always said, there's no place hard anywhere in your body. No place is hard. Everything's really soft. And like that, you can do the gesture all in one coup. So it's light energy. Oh, wait, I forgot one of the, probably the most important. The idea of light energy, there it is, it's floating up. He says, let's go further. For your face and everything above your chest, imagine that all muscular activity is cut off. So there's your arm, it's floating out there. And all this is your body. Even all your expansion, everything is at this light floating level. But your face, your head and neck, your upper shoulders can be at this level. Such that the only part that's really engaged in a mechanical way is this part here. All of this in your body. But it's in a light energy way. Nothing is hard anywhere. It's holding you up, but not more. It's breathing for you, but not more. So that kind of energy is wonderful for singing. We don't have it very easily when we're nervous, and so it's something you cultivate in time. But let's try this gesture. It's all in one moment, and the easiest way to get there is to have your knee bent. One knee bent, and the other one, the one you want to stand on, is straight. So here's your leg that's going to do this thing. You are going to get out there when you're in position. The back leg will straighten up. It'll go straight. And it kind of lifts you up. You can stop where you like. Because we're going to sing something soon, and you'll need a certain level of energy. But at the beginning, everything is relaxed. So your knee is relaxed, everything's ready. And it's a very subtle gesture. It's not some big thing. But it's just a moment saying, I think I'm getting ready to sing. And it's a vertical gesture. Very nice. So what we do is we lift up from the hips, we expand at the hips, and our hips follow our hands out. It's a strange feeling. Now remember, it's light energy, so nothing's pulling very hard. Let's do it again. You rise up out of your hips and expand them. But it's light energy. This is what releases the belly, which was critical in our studies before, John Myer. And this is the thing to keep in mind. So depending on the music, we may go vertically, we may go forward. It depends on what we're going to sing. But for now, we're just going to sing ah. So, wow. So he talks about the level of energy. We're back with Maria. We're talking about Edmund John Myer's vocal technique. It's M-Y-E-R, Myer. Edmund John. And this stuff is so great. But what we were talking about is to get an idea of his concept of the level of to rise and sing at the level. It's a level of energy your body will want to use. And so the mind has a way of knowing what that is. But if we really are doing the gesture and we've freed everything, we will naturally rise to the level of what we want to sing. It's just human nature. And so we must let ourselves do it. And he has a little thing for doing that. So we'll revisit that. That's the gesture. And it is that you have your weight on one leg. We don't shift from leg to leg while you're singing a song. It cuts the concentration and the picture of what you're trying to say. So choose the leg you like. But what you're going to do is have your leg that is not the leg that you've chosen slightly bent at the knee. It's not holding much weight. But there'll be a moment when you're at the level that he will have straightened out. That's the movement. It's very subtle, it's very small. But in that movement, you are releasing all tension and engagement above your chest. You're expanding your entire body, and you're lifting yourself up. And your chest in particular follows this sort of arch. He calls it the arch. So what you want to be doing is getting an idea of what you want to sing. And we're just going to sing a simple ah, because that's how he starts. An ah, when it's done with all this gesture thing, which is done like that, very much all at one fell swoop. What happens is that the voice is released and it has a ball of sound. It hits the hard palate behind your teeth, and it sounds, it resounds, the resonance rings. But something else happens if you do this. There's a magic alchemy, and that is this. When you are really fully released, completely released, expanded and lifted, what happens is that the ventricles inflate. The ventricles of the larynx inflate. And how is that? Well, there are actually two sets of cords, if you will, some of these folds. One of the real vocal cords, that's what makes that wonderful sound. But what makes it beautiful is a valve that establishes itself when you've relaxed everything and some air is coming through and this little space opens. It acts as a valve to change the quality of sound. We're going to hear the difference probably right now. So here we are, we have our G. And we're just going to do everything we can do to remember those parts of the gesture. You're lifting, your knee straightens out as you reach. That's the note. And we're just going to let everything go and see what we get. So you must get to the level of what's in our mind and make it easier for me to find where to edit. So here we go. We're going to try. There's your note. And you're going to sing to the moment that you feel like doing that. Pretty good. When you straighten that knee, it stays straight. You can't move. Yeah, the knee has to stay straight. There you go. Try it again. Can you remember the note? Pretty good. Can you put your foot on the floor in the back now?
Also?
We're going to, yes. When it's straight, it begins bent. But once it straightens out, both feet are on the ground. Your weight is on the main leg.
Okay.
But
because I have the tendency to...
Yes, I know. To be up like... There you go. Well, that's the heavy energy. Let's do a light energy sweep.
Okay.
Try it again. Light energy. And release everything above your chest. Okay. So you're using your hands, which is great. Don't start singing until your hands are engaged, where you want them to be, and let them hold your voice out there for you. They never go high. They don't go out to here, and even this is extreme. They just go out but they're holding and telling your hips, follow me, follow me. So you can let go of everything above here and just sing. But your arms are not claws, okay? They're just hanging. Better. Okay? Okay? We're going to go again, and so we won't go so long on the note. You're bobbing.
Okay.
You really have to stop moving at all because you're disturbing your peace here.
Okay.
Light energy, Robin. Light energy. Better. Let go of the face and neck and jaw. That helped me to breathe really deeply. I didn't think of breathing because I didn't, and so now put it all together. You do it. Light energy. And you now go further in the release of the head and neck. Start singing when you feel your body's at the level. Your hands will go out before they tell you where you're right. But they start at your sides. They're always just hanging. They move as you're ready. Okay? Now your face is making also, that means you're not, you haven't arrived yet at enough release. Can you try again? So the sound can start down here. So if you really release, you will feel a connection here. Release the whole top of your body. But the other thing is the arms really are straight all the time. They don't go anywhere like this. They just move out and move back. They move out with the energy you need, and then they release as you don't need so much energy. This is not a high energy exercise, but they do not bend at the elbow at all. They just stay straight. And why? Because it's the hands we're focused on, not the arms. You see, the arms float, remember? But your hands are holding your voice and saying, come out, this way, this way, this way. And that's why singers do that. You'll see them doing that just to keep it. They don't often do this. This isn't helpful at all. And that generally they're more like a natural duster. Those are the natural singers. But just the movement itself is very subtle. You settle into it. More like that. So what we're looking for is a place that resonates. And each time you get there, you can stay there because you're not going to change your body position. It's the one that gave it to you. No matter what you note comes next. And that is achieved by letting go of everything here. And so this is a little high for me at this hour of the morning, but we'll go here with the gesture. We're going to do another of his exercises. It's ya, ha, 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 ha. It's just that. With a good short ha.
Ha.
Yes.
Ha.
Ya, ha, ha, ha,
Ha, ha, ha, ha, ha, ha.
yes, like laughing. And well, we're not attaching any sentiments here.
Är det staccato or not?
They're all staccato at first.
Staccato.
So what you're looking for is to feel that you can have the same resonance coming out of your face, no matter what the height of the note, you see. And you don't have to think about it because you are so let go. Your larynx and your throat will make all the adjustments necessary. Watch for any tension you can release as you go up the scale. Ya, ha, 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 ha.
Ja, ha, 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 ha.
Pretty good. The whole face is engaged. Can you decouple the face from the effort? And your arms need to hang straight. They're dead weight. Remember dead weight? Well, that's how they start. And they move when the level of singing is right. They do not bend. They go out and then hold you. Straight.
Ja, ha, 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 ha.
Good. Can you now
No.
focus on releasing? On releasing your. Good. On releasing your face. Not letting it express anything.
Reste là. Reste où tu es. Voilà.
Not letting it express anything. It's a light energy. Mm-hmm. So that ya, it's just a let go. Ya. And now ya. Pretty good. This is making you tense. I'll hold it here. So let go of your hands. Better. Can you let go of your tongue? Everything. Pretty good. Now, the more you can let go and control, no movement at all of that is just distraction. You straighten your knee up and you put your foot on one leg. I mean, your foot on the ground. When you're done with your movement to rise up to sing. Better? Can you do it again? Go further. You don't need your face. It's going to sing. Now, just to let go. I think you have the idea about the face, and this is distracting, so we'll let go of this. So you want a good y. Straight to the chest. My shoulders were a little stiff. Light energy, Robin. Pretty good. Let's do the whole thing together. Now the last one's supposed to be staccato if we do it religiously, but we're not going to. Now let's try it again. My stomach is tense, probably because I'm filming this thing, but let me try to let go further. Do the light energy, every muscle you can in your body. To work. You're working too much. Your hands only go up to what you need, and they just hang. The best you did. Because you weren't thinking, because I wasn't watching, you were just trying. Do that again. Try.
I have also to feel my back.
Releasing? Yes. Absolutely. This light energy is a wonderful concept because you can get rid of everything all at once, especially here. Now that wasn't right. Here. My hips follow my hands out. Yeah, that's all right. Now, what if we did it a legato? So now it's going to take a little more energy. Let your hands tell you when to sing. Pretty good. You don't need the H's. You don't need the H's.
No?
Well, actually, no, you don't need the H's. Just ah. Can you do that again? And don't set your body in a hard way. You just float up with your light energy. Just like that. Yes, my dear. Do that again. Light energy. That's all you need. Your hands will tell you when to sing. But your arms must be straight. This is not a dance. This is just an instrument. Pretty good. Can you keep stay on the floor? Yeah. So both legs are straight. You stay on. Yeah, well, you're all right. It's going. So can you start with your arms soft by your sides? And it's a light energy that tells you when you're ready to sing. Both arms just hanging straight, Maria. Better. Don't start singing until your hands tell you your body's at the level. They might be very slightly out. They're at the sides. I'm not in the front. this pumping action.
Yeah.
This you don't need. You lift it and you let go of everything above the throat. Better. Now, if you want to sing that big, yeah, we're still getting this thing. Can we try it again?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you need more space? Am I too close to you? All right. Well, I'm going to come over here a bit. Face is concerned. Can we take the concern off your face? And we're going to do that by telling you to sing this in a very happy, light way. Pretty good. Now, to make it even happier, hop off the first jump like a child. Jumps to this one. It's very nice. Can you do it again? This must be in the same resonant place, but your mind is already here. But this one must be beautiful and must sound, even though it's short. That's it now. You were happy on the first one and it carried over. So I see why it didn't happen. We have the jumping thing with the.
I have the jumping because I leave the floor.
Yeah. Let's not worry about the knee movement right now. Mm-hmm. Let's just make when you're natural. There's no pulling. Yaha. Can we get a good Y? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your arms are really just not engaged in any way, okay? So that they take what's natural to them, not you pulling them. They must not be bent. Let your arms, yes, that was correct. More correct than it wasn't. Let your arms lead. You're taking the control. We can see that by the elbows being bent. Let go of everything. Your arms are telling you to let go. It's light energy.
I think one thing at a joke I've heard, a dance professor told us to them in the courses of tango. She told them, do you know what you have to do if you want to tell to an Italian to shut up? Do you know? You cut him arms.
Okay.
Too engaged.
So well, now that is appropriate when you're singing an aria.
Yes.
You will find a great deal of assistance. The problem is sometimes at this learning stage, when the arms are engaged, it's distracting for you to feel that your hands are holding up your voice, or that they're reminding you to go out to the sides. When there are all sorts of movements in them, that's not the same thing. So they just hang at ease. Then when you get up to the level, they just move gently out and they're ready to hold your voice out there, just to remind your body to expand sideways and all around whatever you can. And that includes your throat. And it's a light energy. There's nothing painful or stiff about it. It's actually fun. Right? You guard and keep. Okay, so now we're going to do as much correct method as we can. So your arms are already engaged, so that means your whole body's out of whack. They hang at the sides. Huh? Okay. And you have a light, beautiful energy flowing through your body. And when you're ready, your hands will go out and say, I think this feels like right here. It's a good place to start singing. Your body above your shoulders is doing nothing. You're expanding and lifting out of your hips. That was okay. Let's go down a bit.
I want to.
You really have to have this a beautiful note. establish the beautiful
Mhm.
note,
Sure.
and the form then stays.
Exactly.
That was glorious. Can we do that again? You're letting go. You're understanding the light energy is much better for you.
I hold it. I hold it.
Staccato.
Yeah.
Well, it's not staccato, actually. This is just a break.
Oui, enfin, on détache la note, c'est ça.
It's a detach. It's not staccato.
Oui.
So really, you have the time to establish a beautiful note. Please
Okay.
don't use your arms to start singing. Okay. Your arms, you're using this sort of thing to
Because I'm
lift your
thinking
shoulders and
about
your
the
upper
arms,
body.
I
Lift
just-
through your hips. Watch the tone. Very good. Very good. Really. Now let's go on. It's easy. It's easy. Very beautiful. It's easy. As soon as your arms make the claws, your whole face twists. And then we don't have an easy time. Better, but there's still the face is engaged. Sing from your lower motor area, which is the abdomen, the lower abdomen. That's what's really singing. So release everything so that there's a light energy there, and it just makes a balanced sound. Can you establish the ya, the first ya, really well? Excellent. Now sing to the people with the ease, but not with the hands clawed. They're at the sides at the beginning. They're just hanging. And when you have the dignity to start, they will move quietly to the sides. They will not bend at the elbows. They're distracting at first because you don't know how to release enough.
I didn't.
Can you release your back and shoulders so that your hands have more freedom? That was very good. Try it again. Sitting down, so I don't really have my legs under me. But I can imagine they are, and I can imagine that those two bones join at the hips. And that's where the action is. In this technique, and in all real good techniques, you're singing from far away from your throat so that you can let it all go. So let's just try one of his things in the back of Vocal Instructor. Not too bad. Now let me let go of everything. Let's attach the expansion in here. Lift, expand, let go. On the descent, it got a little hard. Light energy. With light energy, it can stay open all the way down. Nobody's pushing anyone out of the way. That's why we love light energy. Let's go of everything. Let's go of all that stuff back there. And you can just sing for an hour. And nobody would be bothered because it's beautiful and soft and sweet. Now do the gesture as much as you can. Whatever you can. As best you can. Mm-hmm. Now this,
can be more free.
The taking of air is done by the expansion. It isn't by going. So you really need time to expand. But as soon as you can't get any more expansion, start singing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Now you're still moving your body. Relax. You're looking for the resonance to come by letting go, letting go, letting go. You want your tube of resonance. let your arms hang dead at your sides, and you lift to fill your evening gown. That's the lift. The expansion goes on the sides. Expanding your ribs on this. Everything's expanding. Your throat's expanding even. Happy to see you. Pretty good? Just let them hang dead. Dead arms. No, not behind you. Really at your sides of your hips. I know.
I have to cut them.
Lift your breasts. But just lift easily. It's a light energy. You're walking in a ball. You'll die if it's too hard, huh? Okay, now happy to see me. I'm so happy to see you. Now, really guard your feelings. They're intense now. You really haven't seen me in a long time, and I haven't seen you, and it's so good to see you. So now I'm going to do the gesture as best I can and show you that in my voice. I love seeing you. It's been so long. Now your turn to tell me what you think with that. I missed you too. So all of these emotions can come. They open the body. You'll feel where you're not having to push at all, you see, because your throat's open. It wants to express something. This is where Edmund John Myer was going, and he did go there. And he said, get the gesture, believe in it, have faith in it, and then go with your heart. Access your heart. You'll feel like you're singing from this part of your body because your heart is open and expressing, and this is out of the way. Something like that. Yes. And in time, all of the extraneous movements will just evaporate. We're going to where the heart sings. That's where you must be. You have enough relaxation. You'll get it all. But the going where the heart is, every time you can do this gesture, and remember to do it, you'll feel it. You'll feel the freedom to be expressing yourself in a way that is totally, I'm so happy to see you. Little stiff, Robin. Yeah, let's let go some more. Who? I'm so happy to see you. My arms went up by themselves because I was seeing you, you know. Try it.
I'm so happy to see you.
But your face doesn't look happy. Can you really conquer that?
I'm so happy to see you.
Yes. Yes.